second unit test. We are continuing now. We are in continuation with our studies. You all appeared your unit test very excellently. Congratulations for that. And we had finished up to chapter 10 before second unit test. So today we are going to begin with chapter 11. So all of you take out your page number 73 and the topic is water and soil. So as the topic suggests, we are going to learn about water and soil. Here you see, we are going to learn that what are the sources of water. As you may be knowing, the sources of water are rain, it is the rivers, and the sources of water are artificial sources like well, tanks, reservoirs. We are going to look at every aspect of water. How can we save water? We are going to learn about why water is important for us, why we need to save it, we need to preserve it, we need to conserve it. And I promise you that after going through the chapter and listening it attentively, you will think twice before wasting every drop of water. Then we are going to learn about what kinds of soil, as the topic suggests, soil. So why we need to learn about soil? So we are going to learn about various kinds of soil. Soil is not one kind, though. Okay, we just in layman's language we just consider it as mud. We take a fistful of mud and we say it's soil. But the quality of soil differs from place to place. We are going to discuss it. Many types of soils like alluvial soil, red soil, laterite soil, mountain soil. We are going to look at every aspect of soil. Then, how can we save soil? We will read in this chapter that why we need to save soil, why soil is important for us, why we need to save soil. So we are going to discuss everything in this chapter. Be attentive towards the video and just watch it, play it time and again. And one thing, I am going to explain each and everything twice or thrice in this video. So before putting any question, just you go through the video and just try to understand. Just go through your textbook and the video and then try to match this one, and then you can understand everything. I will not leave you any space for doubt while teaching. So you need to be attentively listening. You need to be attentive towards while we are learning or watching the video. So let us begin. Water is the most important component for survival of life on earth. Whether it is plants, trees, animals, birds, human beings, any sort of life on the earth cannot survive without water. Just imagine, our day begins with just the beginning of our day. We go to washroom, we go for bathing, then proceed toward cooking, and then all our daily activities is based and is performed with the usage of water. We cannot survive, we cannot perform, our life cannot go smoothly without water. We acquire water through various sources. The water is not only important for our daily activities, daily needs, washing, clothing, mopping and cleaning. Not only for that, water is required for irrigating the fields, because if fields and farming, the process of farming and cultivation is dependent on water. If water is not available, we will not get the food. Then, water, we get water through the process. When God made a beautiful earth, God made everything for human being to live, to survive peacefully. And God has naturally processed a water cycle where the water is changing its shape, its forms. You must have learned in science, the water changes its forms. First it is liquid state. In the sea, rivers, we find it in liquid state. Due to the sunshine, due to heat of the sun, it evaporates and then it rises up, forms the clouds. condenses there in the cool layer of the atmosphere and then falls as rain. But in due course of this water cycle, what happens is that in earlier times when there was not too much urbanization, trees were there, we were getting adequate water for our survival. But nowadays, because population is increasing throughout the world, people are more and more dependent on water. Children, water are of two types. One is underground water, or we can call it as fresh water, and one is saline water. You may now put up a question, madam, there is a lot of water in the seas and oceans, then why we are running shortage of water? The water which is useful to human or for animals is the fresh water, which is not saline. The saline water means salty water. The oceans and seas, they have salty water, whereas the underground water is fresh water, the water which you are drinking. We get water from sources like rain, from rivers. We make artificial sources like wells, reservoirs. Reservoirs means making dam, no? We are building a obstruction, we are making a wall which obstructs the path of a river, which stops the path of a river, and the water is collected behind that wall, and it forms an artificial reservoir. It stores the water. So human beings, they store water. But what happened in due course? We have irrationally, uselessly, we are wasting the underground water. So as we are wasting this underground water, we are running shortage of water. If you find that in Chennai and big cities in Delhi, Mumbai and all, you will find shortage of water. And here also, the place where we are residing here, we will find that in some of the localities of our town, we find that we are running short of water, because our population is burgeoning. It's just exploding. It is growing, and our requirement is more. Nowadays, you'll find in everyone's household we are having boring hand pump sets, boring motors and all we are having, and uselessly we are just wasting water. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn how to use water cleverly, why we need to preserve water, why we need to conserve water. We are going to learn all this.
Water is an extremely important resource for us. In fact, if there was no water on our planet, there would be no life. We need water for our everyday life. We need it for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Farmers need it for irrigating their fields. About 2/3 of our body is made up of water too. We are a water-rich planet. 3/4 of Earth is covered by water, but the oceans are salty, and so this water is not fit for drinking. We need fresh water that comes from lakes, rivers, ponds, and even from underground. Come, let us find out more about our sources of fresh water. We get water from different sources on earth. In fact, if you recollect the water cycle, you would remember how we get water. Let us discuss the sources of water in detail. Rainwater fills up rivers, lakes, and ponds. Some of it also goes under the earth to become groundwater. Some of it is absorbed by plants which use it for making food. Farmers actually depend upon the monsoons or the rainy seasons for a good harvest. Lakes and ponds are also small sources of water that are often created when rains fall into naturally formed pits on earth. This fresh water is suitable for drinking. Varieties of flora and fauna are found in lakes and ponds. The melting glaciers from the Himalayas and rainfall on the mountains lead to the formation of tributaries which join to form rivers. Rivers that flow throughout the year are called perennial rivers. They usually originate from ice-capped mountains and glaciers. They are also known as permanent rivers. Almost all rivers originating in the Himalayan region and perennial rivers. Perennial rivers include the Ganga and the Yamuna. Rivers that do not have a constant flow throughout the year are known as non-perennial rivers. They are mainly those rivers that flow only during rainy season. They are called periodic rivers. Examples are Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, etc. All these rivers originate from Vindhya or Satpura mountain ranges or from Chotanagpur plateau, where no glacial formation can be found. So, they are fully dependent on the amount of rain water to flow. Still, they are rich source of fresh water and help to irrigate different parts of the country. Besides the above natural sources of water, humans have also created some artificial sources like different types of wells and pits. Wells are created to access the groundwater, while in the olden days people would pull out water from a well using buckets. Today, pumps and motors are used for the same purpose. In places like farms, people use large tanks or reservoirs to save water and use canals to irrigate their fields too. Today, we are also able to use the energy of water to generate hydroelectricity. Huge walls called dams not only suppress floods but also provide water for activities such as irrigation, human consumption, etc. Some important dams include the Tehri Dam on the Bhagirathi River, which is India's highest dam, Bhakra Nangal Dam over the Satluj River, and Hirakud Dam on River Mahanadi.
World Water Day is celebrated every year on 22nd March. This is celebrated to create awareness among people to conserve water. We can save water, we have to save water, because if we don't save water now, then our coming generations will be deprived of water. So to save water, we have to follow the three methods: preserve water, conserve water, and reuse water. We have to follow, again I'm repeating it, we have to preserve water, we have to conserve water, and we have to reuse water.
World Water Day is celebrated on 22nd March each year. Water is a very important resource and it is getting polluted at a fast pace. Industrial effluents, domestic waste, and discarding plastic into rivers are ruining the quality of our water. We must save water in the following ways. We should preserve water and use it carefully. Turn off the taps when not in use and do not let it overflow. We should save water by using low flush toilets, which can help to save water. Water from bathrooms can be diverted into gardens instead of drains. Water can be conserved by building dams, canals, and wells.